happening, everybody? John Ryan here from IGN, and once again, I'm super thrilled to be checking out some really cool D&D stuff with Matthew Lillard. He's up there.
Hello! I'm in this box. I'm up this box. Hi.
And Paul Shapiro.
Boo! Oh, wait. Go. Yay, Paul Shapiro. Business partner and friend for 30 years, so I'm sorry.
Matthew and Paul operate a high-end D&D premium line of boxes called Beetle and Grimm's, the Pandemonium Warehouse. And they're on their, this is your third box, fourth box?
It feels like 48.
It's our third platinum, but our sixth box.
Behind me, you can see the Icewind Dale Rime of the Frostmaiden Platinum Edition. But the fun side is, Matthew actually hasn't had a chance to dive
I
in.
have never. So this is the truth. So I've been working on Curse of Strahd, Legendary Edition Curse of Strahd, which comes out. It's for sale now. But I have never, because I have not been focused on Paul's line of business. I've been focused on Matt's line of business. So I've actually never seen this box. And it arrived to me, so I'm gonna open and see it for the first time. The same as you. We're the same thing, you and I. But you don't have this.
You're right. I don't have that. That's fair. I don't have either of those. I don't have the cool shirt or the cool knife.
The Ontario Knife Company sent me a blade of my own. It's a +1 sword of unboxing.
Oh no, that's super unhealthy.
It's comedy. They would never give me credit.
So Matthew, while you're getting the initial tape off of that, Paul, you worked on a lot of the design stuff for this box particularly. Why don't you tell us a little bit about sort of the overall philosophy you guys kind of try and put into your legendary or your platinum boxes?
So the Platinum Edition is all about having the most sort of tactile and hands-on things that we can find. And this particular adventure is all about sort of horror and the darkness of Icewind Dale up in the north during this endless winter. So we really wanted to, have things that looked almost as scary as Matt Lillard, who now has cut himself.
I literally just cut my finger.
What did I tell you? It was a bad idea. This is why we can't have nice things. Let's pause for a second so you can throw a bandage on that, maybe?
I'm gonna keep going. We're gonna keep going. We're gonna keep going.
Yes, I can see that. Continuity has to keep it there, but I mean, the finger itself you could wrap up so it doesn't keep bleeding all over the inside of your box.
I cannot believe I just cut my finger. All right, keep going. It'll be part of the gag. Go ahead, go.
Please take a second to bandage that if you want.
Fine.
Okay. All right. Okay.
And this is what
accident.
now you know what we have to work with. Now you know what we have to work with. Starting a company with Matthew Lillard is not all it's cracked up to be.
Shit.
Sounds like an adventure.
I'm fine. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Wow.
So while Matthew bandages himself up, why don't we sort of talk a little bit? You were sort of trying to explain this idea of sort of imbuing that sort of theme of horror into the items that you keep within the box itself.
Yeah, and first and foremost, it's about what are people going to have and players are going to want to use at the table to play. But we tried to find things that sort of reinforce that the weirdness and the darkness of this adventure. What we did, we actually focused a lot on handouts. We created a whole big pile of original custom handouts, one for each of the 10 towns, so that we could really, draw people into the story with these physical handouts. And that was one of the things that was a lot of fun. And there we go. Look at that.
Hey, he did it, and it's not
The
coated
first
in
thing I was
blood.
saying, it's so heavy
Careful.
and bloody. All right, so
You're back from the
cut my
hospital.
finger. I don't think I'm going to the hospital. But I may
That looks
pass
like a
out.
lot of blood on your hand, my dude.
It's fine. Anything for Beetle and Grimm's.
Did you put a bandage on it? Oh no.
No, I put I'm trying to apply pressure.
Is it that
Listen,
deep?
if I die, these things are gonna go flying off the shelf. Actually, that is one of the things that's pretty great. We Our first Platinum edition sold out about a week after we delivered the boxes. The second one sold out a month before we delivered, and this one sold out almost 4 months, like 3.75 months before we delivered.
I mean,
so
I remember going through the first set with you for Waterdeep Dragon Heist.
you have the biggest head on
I
earth.
know.
You guys.
No, leave it there.
God, he's so
this
big.
is life now. It's stuck.
such a big
This
head.
is my life
Oh,
now.
look at this. I can't get it off. Call 911. Do we have,
Oh,
is there a
boy.
phone?
This is a great set. Like, this is the thing is like these sets, like a lot of people look at them and they might say, oh, the price tag is really high. But it's, if you're looking at it from the point of this is a thing that my D&D group and I are buying together.
Yes.
It's a solid like gift for your table, because there's genuinely so much included in this that you will for sure get miles and miles of use out of it.
Yeah, our idea is that it's amortized out over the duration of the time played. So if you play it for a year, you play it for 8 months, a year, 2 years. It's about $4 every time you play if everyone kicked in. It's less than a piece of pizza. And our belief is that we try to create as many touches as possible so that you'll see our elements in almost every game. So this is the box. Paul, it's a beautiful box.
Thank you. Yeah, no, we were super happy with how that came out. The embossing of the dragon on the front with the gold is really cool.
Yeah, it's really gorgeous.
It's heavy. How heavy is it? It's like 22 pounds or something.
Yeah, it's huge. Yeah, it's really full of
the
stuff.
shipping weight was 23 pounds or something on that front. But it's a gorgeous package once you pop it open, isn't it?
Dude, it smells like glory and blood.
So there's a ton in the Beetle and Grimm sets in terms of sort of how you present it. Both it's stuff for players and it's also a bunch of tools for dungeon masters. So one of the things that you include, which I always really love. First off, you take the adventure itself, which you parse out into, instead of one long book, you parse it out into sort of sections. Now, what's sort of the logic behind that? Why not just include a copy of the book itself?
For us, the biggest thing in terms of being able to break up that book is for the DM to be able to pick up and use just what they need for that session or those couple of sessions, as opposed to having, the whole big book that you have to flip through. We also separate out the appendix, which you're always referencing with monsters and magic items. And so to have each of those have its own book makes it really easy for the DM to sort of pick that up and say, this is what I'm focusing on, for these couple of sessions.
Yeah, and there's more tools to it too, because like it comes with the DM screen, it comes with some pre-generated character sheets and stuff. But one of the things that I love that you guys included in your boxes, and it's a trend that we've sort of seen kind of picked up now because of a lot of the stuff that you've included in your sets, are these sort of encounter cards that have both monster art on the front, which this is a horrifying example, and then a stat block on the back. So when you're running an encounter, for example, you can flip it over the front of your DM screen so that your characters know exactly what they're up against, and then you, as the DM, have all the stats and all the lore about that monster right in front of you.
I feel like the most masculine, bloody Vanna White in the world.
Bloody Vanna White, yes.
That's the real key. So once you pull all of the books and a few of the battle maps, which we'll check out in a second, you get to this really lovely presentation, or that really lovely presentation that Matthew is currently showcasing right there, which has the encounter cards that we were just looking at, and it also has the 5 trinkets and pieces of jewelry that are some really, really beautiful physical handouts. I've got here, I believe this one is the control amulet for a shield guardian.
Yes, I don't want to give away too much, but yeah, and Matt is holding a Chardolin amulet.
Yeah.
So I want you to know. So again, I've never seen these physical products, and I'm the one responsible for creating them. These particular pieces. These came out great. I've never held it, and it's really beautiful.
They really, really are. I particularly love the 2 amulets.
Wow.
Like the one that you're holding there, the Chardolin one, like it really does like reflect light off all around. And this guy here is genuinely like, I'm 100% gonna regardless
Yeah.
of if I'm playing Icewind Dale or not, this will absolutely end up within my party's grasp the next time I get them to the physical table.
And that one actually is made with real wood, which is something that we had to work surprisingly hard. We had to work surprisingly hard to get that inset to be done.
Our vendor was very much like, "Are you sure you don't want resin that looks a lot like wood?" And we're like, "No, we want wood." This is like one of my favorite pieces we've ever done, actually. In fact, this at Wizards of the Coast, people were like, "Dude, that is incredible." They didn't say "dude."
I'm pretty sure they did. I know a couple of those guys. They would say
I don't know
dude.
if they ever said "dude," but that's a Troutalope. What you want to talk to people through what the Troutalope is, Paulie?
So 10 Towns. So this is a pin that you can win at the Northlook Tavern as part of a competition from one of the bonus encounters. But the Troutalope itself, the idea is every one of 10 Towns has its own symbol and sort of shield design that represents each town. One of them has a trout on it. One of them has an elk. And so we made this as a sort of combining all of the different elements from all the different 10 Towns into one badge. So it's a trout with antlers holding a mug of beer.
Excellent. That's
As you
really
do.
great.
As you do.
As you do. And it's hysterical.
And then the big one that you saw in the center there is actually
that
this
one.
guy, which is this is technically a token, right? Of the Chartling Dragon, which is a big monster that you'll eventually, spoiler alert, fight later on in the campaign, probably. I have to say probably because who knows what would actually transpire at your particular table.
Exactly.
But this is designed to use as sort of a tracker, right? There's a portion where it comes through all the maps. Oh, you all right, buddy?
Let me get the blood off.
Oh no.
Yeah, don't bleed on the Chartling Dragon. So its primary purpose is to use on the in-world map of 10 Towns as you track the progress of whatever might be happening with a big dragon made of Chartling.
Right.
Maybe.
Maybe. If that happens.
But at the same time, it also is, there's, with so many of these things, there's 1,000 uses for it. And so we love having elements that you can use as an inspiration token, that you can use as a marker of something, that you can use to represent, all kinds of different things in the adventure as a piece of Chartling itself. So it was a beautiful piece designed by one of our favorite artists, Siddharth Chowdhuverdi. And so we just love being able to put that in there and have it be this unique, one-of-a-kind thing that you can get in the box.
And the art side of things, like you guys really focus a lot on being able to highlight and show off some of the really great work that concept artists have done for the adventure itself, but also throughout the modern sort of D&D era. You also include a bunch of, I'll pull them up here. You have printed out just a bunch of concept art cards with are double-sided, so you can kind of get the idea of this one's 3 kobolds in a trench coat, which who doesn't love that?
Right.
So dodgy. One of the things that we love about the that we do at Beetle and Gribs is that for years we watched our DM hiding part of the book as he's showing you the pictures, and for us the art was, because we're also visual, the art really loaded us into where we are. We don't play with terrain, we sort of play theater of the mind, so every time you see art you all kind of get in the same space at the same time. And so our DM was constantly trying to cover up important information,
Right.
and flashing you art and then bringing it down. So one of the things we do in all of our boxes is that we pull out the art that you can find throughout the adventure guide, so that the DM can use it, present it, can give it to the players, and that it can either live on the table, or it allows the DM to deliver it in a different way and makes hopefully more of an impact.
Yeah, much like with the encounter cards, it flips open so that you can hang it off the front. So like even if it's just like this looks like a coven of night hags. So if you run into them, you can just kind of plop this over. Like, this is what you see when you open the door. This is what's staring at you through this entire conversation. So have fun dealing with that.
Yeah. It's great. It's really changed the way we play our own game. I mean, we've now played with our set and have continually, one of the things about our company is that we're gamers making a game company, and everything we are building, we're building because we're passionate about it. We think it's cool, and then we use it in our own game. So we're really excited about how these pieces have turned out.
Awesome. And again, the whole set itself, it comes with this whole tube full of maps and stuff to use. Like you can see behind me, there's a full canvas-sized map of the Icewind Dale area itself, which is really beautiful. There's a great, I see Matt, you're opening the tube itself. There's the idea of just rolling out all of these maps through canvas, and then with the huge battle maps that fly out after it, it really is a special event. Being as a DM.
I mean, these are elements. These are in-world elements that you can hand the player as you go. Which, look, people love to make props. Our belief is that what we don't have in time and energy now as 50-year-old men, we're like, well, maybe we can pay somebody to make it. And that's what we do. I mean, we go out and try to deliver impact. I mean, each individually rolled, you undo it, and now all of a sudden you have text that is delivered to your players, which, is super fun.
Yeah, you've got really great some pieces that are really solid, like whether it's a note demanding aid, or even just an in-world newspaper or a broadsheet that you might find in town. I think this was probably my favorite though, because I want to know who is a moose expert in your party. So let me know in the comments which one of your group is your moose expert, because that's the one that we're going to need the most. But that notion of finding, you were saying, Paul, that there's one of those for every town you go to. And you've got full maps of each one of the towns, which is great too. But you also have taken it upon yourselves to that. So Matthew's showing you the canvas map right there.
That's the Devon Rue creation.
Oh, beautiful. That's
that's the Mike Schley creation.
Oh, that's
the original Mike Schley.
Mike Schley.
Yeah, that's Mike Schley's. If you dig down deeper in that pile, you'll see a slightly one that's zoomed in on just 10 towns. And this is meant to be an in-world version that you give to the players. They actually can find. There's several places they can find. Oh my goodness!
Many maps.
There's so many maps. Paul, you're having a little. Oh no, the sweet. They're all paper. No. He's already damaged himself today.
I'm not sending Matt any more boxes.
I can send him mine once we're done with the shoot. It's okay.
Yes.
But so you're looking at now the Devon Rue creation. Devon Rue, if you're unfamiliar, does really, really, really wonderful custom maps for sort of fantasy worlds, tabletop games. She's a really spectacular map cartographer.
There's blood on the back of the Devon Rue map. It's fine. I'm fine.
You could probably get away with selling that on eBay for this a concerning.
I will be cloned soon. If anyone needs me, I'm ready and prepared to defend this house.
Don't pull it back out. You're going to hurt yourself again.
Yeah, put it back.
You guys saw our sword. It's a +1 sword of unboxing.
God,
yes, that's awesome.
This is like in Chekhov's knife. It's going to come out again and
very sharp. They're very sharp.
Let me ask: when you disappeared off screen for a second and then hollered "shit," did you stab yourself again?
No, the knife fell.
Okay, good. I just wanted to make sure that you're not more.
No, I would not be here. It's
it was just jammed through your foot. Yeah, I take a pass on that one. The other thing we should touch on is that the Platinum Edition comes with a bunch of minis, which is great. Obviously, when you have a bunch of tabletop maps, you want something to put on them to fight one another. I think the favorite one that I have in this set is probably the Snowy Owlbear, because he's just such a good squat little boy. This comes with a bunch of minis. I know that it's a sort of a selection of best of the current official WizKids minis line.
Basically, the way we choose minis is we get the list from WizKids, and we go through and we pick all the ones that we think are the coolest, and then we say we'd like all the coolest minis in our box, please.
And they're like,
great.
The greatest thing about WizKids is yeah, of course, obviously. Yeah. I mean, they have been unbelievable. And every time we're like, are we this lucky? We are. And they're awesome. Between you guys helping us out and lifting our message, I mean, you did unbelievable work for us on the first box. And Avernus, and it's just been great for us. And we're really lucky. We've learned, we have learned at the knee of this industry, and we're now raising people up with us, and it's just been really, really great. We wouldn't be here without the partners.
And the other thing too is you guys also go a little bit beyond sort of what's included in the standard adventure. And you also, I've got here one of them. You also create your own sort of bonus encounters, I think you call them, right?
Yep.
So what
one of the things that we want to do, in all transparency, is we want to eventually end up creating our own content. And so this is our opportunity to sort of do what we love. We're a collection of artists, we're a collection of writers. It's what we love to do. And so, every box, it's a primary focus for us to deliver cool content, create art around that content so that when players or the DM puts it into game, it adds impact. So we're really excited about those.
So obviously, for the sort of bonus adventures, when you're creating those, what does the sort of creative process look like when you want to add an adventure that sort of has to be able to fall anywhere?
Yeah, so one of the first thing we look for when we're thinking of bonus encounters is, once we've read the whole story, we will look for places in the story that either aren't as fully explored as maybe we would like, a cool location or character or NPC that could, be fleshed out a little more. Or sometimes it's just, at different parts of the adventure, maybe there hasn't been combat for a while, and this would just be a fun way to kind of wake the players up. Or, there's been a lot of combat, and wouldn't it be nice, around 5th level to maybe have a role-playing opportunity. So we really build these as a way to sort of, as Matt said, to sort of add to the adventure, to either fill in places that, could benefit from it, or just, change things up a little bit, give the DM a little bit more variety. So in Icewind Dale, one of the bonus encounters is this tavern competition that doesn't involve any combat at all, and it's all just role-playing. And it's a lot of fun, and that's actually where you can win the Troutalope pin. It seemed like, an opportunity for the players after all of this horror and darkness and battling to be able to go someplace, meet some people, and just have some fun. And that's what that was all about.
Yeah, you've trudged through miles and miles and miles of bloody snow. Here's a fun night at a tavern.
We have the blood. We are presenting the blood today.
So
I told you it was a horror story.
Yeah. Looking at creating your own content, is that something, obviously if you can't share anything, I totally get it. But do you have original Beetle and Grimm adventures in the works currently beyond what's included in official WotC content?
It's a good question. I'll say this: we have, we are 5 guys that are now, and we have the Valiant 3, who are delivering a lot of boxes. We're expanding exponentially, right? We're in the middle of a midlife crisis, and we started a company 3 years ago around Waterdeep, and now we're delivering our 6th and 7th box, and we are building towards that, but right now we're sort of at the end of our capacity because we're growing so fast, and quite frankly, we need to hire some people and be able to handle other things. We just did
because it is 5 of you doing everything, right?
Yeah, and we operate from like 6 o'clock to midnight every night, and then 12 hours on the weekend. So we're 5 guys that have careers and families, and this is a secondary gig, and it's now what used to be like a fun hobby is actually becoming a thriving business, and so it's really exciting. We love it. We're generating real. We have fans of the brand, and we're generating a lot of positive response, and we need to keep up with the expansion. We just, for example, just launched a Kickstarter for Pathfinder.
My name is Matthew Lillard. You've probably seen me in many a horrible movie back in the 90s. Can we start again?
Right.
Which we're really excited about, and that has been great for us. We're doing these things called Character Chronicles, which is a journal, the Player's Handbook, and the Advanced Player's Guide, and a character sheet all in one book. So that's on Kickstarter now. I don't know when this is launching, but that's a big moment for us. We're expanding. Yeah. We're a new brand. We're trying new elements. We're trying to create elements for every player around the table. And it's, if we had our druthers right now, if the whole company could run another way, I think the 5 of us would love to go out and create content. But we are knee deep in delivering boxes.
Right. But in the future, that's something we could potentially look forward to. And I know I, for one, would super dig that.
Yes! Another vote.
There we go.
Matthew, Paul, I can't thank you guys enough for joining me. I hope you guys at home have seen some really cool stuff. There are currently no editions of the Platinum boxes left, but the Silver Edition, which comes with several of the battle maps, of all the bonus encounters, a ton of really great physical handouts for you and your players are still available. And then, as Matthew mentioned, the Curse of Strahd Legendary Edition, which is dropping near the end of this month, which is also still available for pre-order, right?
That is correct. We still have a couple boxes available.
Cool. Well, thank you guys so much again for joining us, and for everything else for D&D and all your other tabletop games. Stick around right here on IGN. But don't stab yourself. No, no, no.